Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of November 19th, and oh boy, what a week we are stepping into. You can probably feel my excitement. There is some type of big shift in the air, and we have made it through the threshold here. Wow, finally. We have Pluto moving out of the sign of Capricorn for good into the sign of Aquarius. That happened just a few hours ago. And so we are talking about the highly transformative process and where Pluto is coming from, where Pluto is landing next. But there's more going on this week also. The Pluto transition of signs is very important, and we have other aspects that are supporting that and adding in energies. The beginning of Sagittarius season on November 21st, when the sun hits 0 degrees of Sagittarius, and then also the planet of Mercury setting up for the last Mercury retrograde of 2024, and that is starting on November 25th on Monday. So how is it going out there? I hope you're doing really well and feeling the support that is coming in from the cosmos and from the universe here. The support for so much transition and change and things really moving and shifting right now. And of course, this planet of Pluto is a slow moving planet. So we've been in and out and in and out of Capricorn into Aquarius multiple times already with this highly transformative planet of Pluto. And this is the fourth and last time that we get the planet entering Aquarius, and this time staying there for the rest of our lives. See, Pluto has a 250-year transit around the entire zodiac chart. So it takes it 250 years to get back to the exact same point. So that is definitely outside of our ability at the time for our lifetime. So Pluto moving out of Capricorn. It's been an amazing time with Pluto and Capricorn since 2008. And so this closing of a cycle is huge. And you can think back to 2008. That was the beginning of Pluto and Capricorn moving out of Sagittarius. Now we have Pluto moving into Aquarius for 20 years. And this is the end of an era, absolutely, and the beginning of a new era, moving from an earth sign where we have been building the structure since 2008. This Capricorn is an ambitious worker that wants to get things done. We have been motivated by our feelings towards what we would like to do in this life in terms of our career or the legacy that we want to leave for future generations. See, Capricorn likes to build structure that it can then pass along and build on top of. So you can look at today as your graduation day. You have graduated from the transformative process in Capricorn, and you are indeed getting to move into a new era of life. And so congratulations. You graduated. I mean, we did it. And so there is a process here within the zodiac where when you move from one sign to the next, we have mastered that previous sign. So we have built all of that structure and we are looking to move forward now. And Aquarius is a futuristic energy. Aquarius is definitely about the future and innovation and technology, and is a humanitarian sign. This is the sign of the people. Aquarius is about groups of people coming together and helping others. It's how can we group up to support the whole? And it's going to involve using these innovative new ways of doing things. The planet of Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius, and there is an awakening aspect to this energy. It's the lightning bolt. It's bam, you get zapped, and there is immediate change. There is an immediate awakening. There is a revolution that takes place, and it's all about moving into the future. So look in your astrological birth chart to see where Pluto in Aquarius is landing for you. So if you don't know about the astrological birth chart, you still need to get one. It's a really important piece. So if you listen to astrology, you do this, you're really interested how the astrology affects you on a personal level, you do need to have your own birth chart. So you can go online, get a free astrological birth chart. It's the map of where the planets were when you were born and the exact moment that you were born. And this is the imprint that we carry with us into our life. And so when these aspects come through, Pluto now moving into Aquarius, we look in our birth chart. Where is Aquarius? Where is that 0 degree of Aquarius point? And what are we going to be working on in terms of which house that lands in, which area of your life over the next 20 years? This can be very useful to you. You can know that indeed this transformation process is going to be taking place here. And so before I move on with anything else, I wanted to bring in a little bit of wisdom from above. I mean, above me in terms of astrological knowledge. I'm bringing in some wisdom from above. I'm going to read from a book by Robert Hand, who is a well-known, well-revered astrologer, about the transiting of Pluto and the significance of it. I'm going to kind of pick and choose through here, but this is from the very last chapter of the book, Planets in Transit by Robert Hand. The nature of Pluto is similar to that of the Hindu god Shiva, the creator and destroyer. Pluto usually begins by breaking down a structure. Then it creates a new one in its place. This entire cycle of death, destruction, and renovation is accompanied by tremendous powers. For Pluto is not a mild or even subtle planetary influence. You can always see its effects very clearly, ranging from machines breaking down and needing repair to full-scale destruction or death. Decay at one level or another, followed by new life from the old, is the typical Plutonian process. The energies of the planet that Pluto is transitioning become a source of change and transformation in your life. You may get involved in serious power struggles with others about changes in the areas of your life associated with that planet. As Pluto transit your houses, it signifies the areas of your life that are due for radical transformation. It is extremely important that you recognize the inevitability of Plutonian change, which is built into the very structure of things and cannot be prevented. And you should not try to prevent it because it is a necessary stage in your evolution. All that you will do is force the energies to build up until they are explosive. Then the inevitable changes come about disastrously. That is a reading from the Pluto 13th chapter of Planets in Transit by Robert Hand. Such incredible knowledge there that we can bring in. And I know I've read that about a half a dozen times already and looked at my birth chart, and I'm trying to take it all in, where is this coming from and where is this going? Working within the cycles of the universe in which I live. And later in the week, we bring in another really supportive energy for this type of major transformation that we're in. And that is the movement of the sun from Scorpio into Sagittarius. And this is the beginning of Sagittarius season on November 21st, moves in at 11:56 a.m. on the Pacific West Coast. And we bring in Archer energy. We bring in a visionary wisdom. We bring in a desire to learn and to expand our knowledge with Sagittarius. We bring in a lightness and a playfulness, and there's energy here. There's energy for play because Sagittarius is a fire sign. So Scorpio was where we came from. We've been in a deep, deep cycle ruled by Pluto also of transformation, going into the depths of our emotions and how we're feeling about things. Scorpio wants to dig in deep, and then we graduate from that. We carry that with us into Sagittarius, where we can then lighten that up, play with it a little bit, commit it to knowledge, wisdom, and learning, and energetically move forward with sort of an adventurous side to us also. We create this grand vision when we're in Sagittarius, because in the Northern Hemisphere, where astrology was first created, Sagittarius season signified the time of the year when all of the leaves were fallen off of the trees, and you can then see through the branches into the distance, into the sky. There is a type of long distance sight to Sagittarius that comes in. And so we dig through details and go into dark places in Scorpio. And here we are getting to lighten things up and use our little arrows of truth, our arrows of energy. This is the archer. So they pull back, they look at their target, and bam, they have this great way of being able to see things clearly in that way. And so this is going to be a really nice landing point for all of us. The sun is just kind of the main focus of which we are living the lives. The sun signifies our ego, our identity, the true aspects of who we are and how we see things, and the filter in which we see things. So your sun in your astrological birth chart is like the filter in which you see the world through in one of the 12 signs. And so this is going to bring about this really great way of being able to widen the vision here and be able to accept things a little lighter, right? And to kind of play with things and know that we have an adventure ahead of us, but to know that, we have the energy to take care of that. There is a truth and honesty to Sagittarius also that may really help us in this time of transition and this time of change to accept and to just allow things to be. We have it's almost to the point with Sagittarius where it's like a little too blunt sometimes. There is a way to Saggies that is not always loved by others to tell the truth and to tell it really quickly and really bluntly. So we could be over the next month during Sagittarius season receiving some of these honest truths. We could be told some blunt things about the way things are going, or we could have realizations. After all, we are in the sign of Aquarius. This is going to be like lightning strike awakenings, lightning strike revolutions and revelations. We could come to some really amazing realizations. The sign of Sagittarius is all about belief systems too, and religion and philosophy. So we could be having some realizations, some revelations about places that we're going in our life and things that we are considering. So really, really cool entrance into Sagittarius season this week. And then we do have the planet of Mercury stationing to go retrograde, and Mercury retrograde gets kind of a bad rap out there, but this is a great opportunity for us to slow things down, take stock. Where are we at? We've already been seeing over the last few weeks some of the themes that are building up for us in terms of the Mercury retrograde. We entered the Mercury shadow a couple of weeks ago. The date of that was November 7th. And so that is sort of a day we can go back to, okay, November 7th on up until the 25th. We are sort of reviewing and seeing things that are going to need to be picked through and revised and reviewed and restructured. And any word that begins with the letters R, E is the activity for a retrograde. So knowing that this is coming up, we want to make sure that we prepare ourselves and give ourselves enough time to absorb what's going on. There's a lot going on right now. We are going to need to realize and slow down things just a little bit so that we don't get too caught up when Mercury causes things to maybe come to a halt. Technology slows down quite a bit. Traffic builds up quite a bit. We have car problems. And so if you're really depending on getting a certain amount of things done in a small amount of time, that could be not necessarily the right plan if you're using the astrological energies after November 25th and on into the holiday season, which is slowing down. So maybe planning one or two fewer errands on every outing, or just giving yourself a lot of extra time to get around and do things so that you're not in a hurry and stressing yourself out or putting yourself in a situation where you could, get a car accident or anything like that. You don't want to go that far. So that's why we study the astrology, because we want to work with this. We want to know that our minds are going to be kind of thinking back a little bit and like, okay, I'm actually like fixing things from back in November still during this Mercury retrograde. So how can I set myself up for December knowing that this is going to be the case? So I think I got my point across there with the Mercury retrograde, and we'll be picking through that a little bit and just talking about how we can be patient when we're searching for these answers and searching for what this Mercury retrograde's about, and just kind of focusing when the outer world is kind of chaotic too. So, yeah, the last thing I wanted to bring in here, I think, before we close out the show today, this is probably the biggest astrological event that has taken place since I started studying astrology. I think it's really the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, and I'm very, very interested to watch this play out in my life and in the world as a whole and in society. I mean, we are all going through some type of evolution right now together, and we'll see it play out. And it's all benevolent. That's for sure. We can trust in the energies of the universe for sure to provide for us. And I thought I would just bring in one of these NASA audio clips. We're going to listen to the Pluto frequency, the audio that NASA caught off of the planet of Pluto. Have a little 30-second meditation on this beautiful day. always hear different things every time I play these audio clips. I just love them. That was if you're just tuning in, that was the audio frequency caught off of the planet of Pluto by NASA. And that time I heard I just heard the train leaving the station. So if you haven't gotten your ticket for Pluto in Aquarius yet, it's now, because the train is leaving the station. We are packing our bags from one era and moving into the next. And are you ready for the mission? I think you are. And it's going to be a beautiful 20 years. It's going to be a beautiful week. It's going to be a beautiful Mercury retrograde. And I hope you're feeling really positive and at least having some areas that you can accept, where this change is happening, because it could be pretty spontaneous. Now that we're in Aquarius, we could see some incredibly spontaneous things happen. I mean, very quick moving energy. So it's going to take us a little bit to absorb what's going on and to move into this new cycle. So be gentle with yourself and be kind and gentle to the people around you as we all go through this amazing time of evolution and revolution together. And I just thank you so much for being tuned in to the cosmic community, KPOV, and being out there as a galactic community member. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you again soon. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.